So right now I'm filling my smoker with cow manure or horse manure, whatever I happen to have on hand. I'm gonna find some little chunks and some big chunks. A lot of people use whatever resources are on hand, but living in the city you never really know what kind of fuel is going to be around, so I actually carry a bucket of fuel around with me all the time. My name is Jessie Brown. I own Brown's Downtown Bees. This is my first professional year as a beekeeper in Albuquerque. This is an all-organic farm, local farm, and they have land in Bosque Farms and here on Trisco and Central. In the spring, I will check on my hives once a week to make sure they're not thinking about swarming. I try and suppress swarms. When the hive gets too big, they start thinking about swarming in the springtime. And so I'll split the hive, make it into 2 hives as soon as I start seeing queen cells in it. And that could be any time in the spring, so I like to check them a lot to make sure they're not going to swarm. Right now I don't have to check but every 2 to 3 weeks. The biggest a hive will get is the summer solstice, and if it's a really good, successful hive, it'll have about 30,000 bees in it.
Oh wow!
This one, we'll just peek and see how big it is, but I would say there's probably about 25,000 in here is what I'm guessing. There's a lot of, some people think it interferes with their communication system and their pheromones. Other people think that they think there's a forest fire, so they're getting their bellies super full of honey to prepare to leave the hive, and they're so full of honey they can't really sting. I don't know if there's a real definite answer to why it keeps them from stinging, but it really does calm them down. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke the entrance, because all the guard bees are at the entrance of the hive. That's their job, to make sure no intruders get in. The safest place to keep bees is inside the city, because you're not surrounded by a whole bunch of agriculture. So my bees are a lot safer in the city. I don't really necessarily have to worry about pesticides so much, rather than having my bees in the middle of a big agriculture community that are like spraying monocrop culture and stuff. Here in the city, I know my bees are getting all this wonderful weeds, and they'll travel within 2 miles to get all their nutrients, their pollen and their nectar, and people have a lot of different variety of landscaping plants, so I don't know if I would want to keep it a monoculture inside a greenhouse necessarily. I'd like to have it open up. I do a lot of removals and swarm captures, and usually I get stung at least once when I get in the hives. This time of year, it's going to be really weird to see, kind of the exception to see a drone, a boy bee. These are all female bees, but male bees have really large eyes for spotting queens. People, as a general rule of thumb, are losing 40% of their bees every year, and that first hive, I definitely do not expect that one to survive the winter, so I'm going to want to use resources from my other hives to make sure that hive will survive. And if you only have one hive, if I only had that one hive that wasn't doing so great, I would definitely expect to lose it. But because I have all these other great resources, I can I can pull extra honey from this hive and put it in there. I can pull extra babies from this hive and put it in there. I could even make a new queen with babies from this hive for that hive. So I really suggest starting out with 2 hives, and that's a really good number to. So you can have a comparison too, especially as a new beekeeper, you don't know, is this hive not looking so good? But if you have another hive to compare it to, you can really see, oh, okay, this is how, this one's not doing so great and this one's doing fantastic. There's a little bit of pollen in the middle there. I don't know if you can see it, it's like bright orange.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of guessing that's sunflower pollen just because that's the season we're in. But right now, what's really hot right now? Sage is a big one right now. Chamisa is a big one right now. And it's really interesting when you get to them, they'll have a whole bunch of different colors of pollen packed in the same area. Okay, so the way they set it up is they usually have a band of honey on the top, then a band of pollen, and then they have a whole bunch of babies in the middle there. Height of summer. There's a big push in New Mexico for good genetics. A lot of people in New Mexico don't really treat using miticides or any fungicide or anything. They try and do like all natural beekeeping, and they really try and make it so that to have a queen whose genetics sort of fight these diseases on their own, so you don't have to constantly be helping the hives out. They can sort of fix it themselves. So that's what I try and do. You know, even if I have a mean hive, I'll definitely requeen. I'll put in a new queen because all the babies, all the workers have the same disposition as the queen, the same genetics. So if you kill that queen and give it a nicer queen, then you'll feel it in the whole hive once her babies start hatching.
Oh, okay.
So same with like disease resistance and stuff.
Right. What do you do in that occasion if a disease were to hit your hives, in terms of isolating certain kinds of bees? Or
well, I would definitely, if I saw any sort of disease, I would definitely, in between hive checks, I would really clean my hive tools off really well getting in between my hives, so I don't contaminate the others. And I might even consider moving them away from that location. It's about a 6-week process where all the bees come out and they can't come back into their hive. And I give them another additional hive with babies that they can make a new queen out of. So they'll all leave the wall or the tree and they'll start, they can't get back in, and their only option is to live inside that beehive. And the queen will always stay forever in the wall or the tree. She'll never leave the hive. I have a website, a blog, brownsdowntownbees.blogspot.com, where you can follow my adventures. I try and post daily about what I'm doing in the height of the season. I sell my honey word of mouth, so email me at brownsdowntownbees@hotmail.com.